Hello and welcome to MGP340. I'm Kevin, with me as ever, the sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello.
Sheepdog's back, everybody.
I am.
From
You
his
lot are
unauthorised
stupid.
absence from last week.
You lot are a nightmare.
I
mean,
never signed a holiday slip. Pab, did you sign a holiday slip?
Nope.
Right, he's not getting paid then. Simple as that.
just like my real boss.
Exactly. Do this twice more and you're fired.
I felt a little bit like I was under heavy scrutiny when I went on Xbox Live and I had a question there, and I went on Twitter and there's questions there, and
We sat here for an hour waiting for you.
No, you know how we feel every week, Pab and I, when we sit here having our conversations. I listened to 4 Spice Girls songs before you turned up tonight.
No, you listened to 3 before I turned up, and 1 while I was shouting, "Sheepdog, turn the Spice Girls off!"
It was too loud.
Nobody can hear me talking. Turn the Spice Girls off, for goodness' sake.
I was getting a beer at that point, to be honest. I came back, saw you were there, and thought, I can stop the music now. Too many people I know or listen to on the radio are going to see them live tonight, and I thought, I didn't even realise that they were coming back this soon.
How many people you know are going to see the Spice Girls live tonight?
3+, they were talking about it on Radio X, so I don't know those people, but they were going.
You mix in some truly baffling circles. I don't understand your life. I don't know anybody who even knows they were touring.
I knew they were touring, I didn't want to go.
Why didn't you want to go?
Because they're old. I spent my money on a different person, so I couldn't afford it.
Is it me?
No, I'm going to see Christina in a few months.
Richie.
Which is why Britney Spears has now unfollowed her on Twitter after all these years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I reckon it was probably when you announced you were going to go and see Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears immediately unfollowed. That beef is still real.
I doubt it.
I think that's what it was. I'm certain that's what it was.
Did you notice her unfollow you, or was it just you went to check and she weren't there anymore?
No, I wanted her to DM her, and she wasn't following her anymore.
Did you ever try DMing her when she was following you?
No.
I will. When Susie Perry started following me and DM'd me, that was glorious, and then she just unfriended me after I replied, which I thought was really.
Why did she DM you in the first place?
She wanted to wish me good luck with something we were trying to... I guess we'd probably tagged her in something when we were doing one of our charity things on the podcast, and she added me, DM'd me saying good luck, and then when I replied, thanks, Susie, or something like that, she instantly unfriended me. I was like, okay.
She followed you purely so that she didn't have to publicly wish you good luck.
Yeah, which is very weird, isn't it? It's like, I don't want people to know I support charities. She didn't actually do anything other than say words, so she doesn't even support charities.
Well, she did send that massive check, which I didn't realise was a charity. So,
damn, whoops.
Right, before we get too much further into this podcast, I do need to remind everybody that MGPX19 is fast approaching. In fact, I think is it 4 weeks today? As people are listening, or is it 5 weeks today? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks today. As you listen to this, you should be on your way to the event. If you're listening to this podcast when it first comes out, 10 o'clock Saturday morning, you should be in the car or on the train or walking, or I don't care, ride a bike. Just head to Peterborough, Saturday the 20th of July, head to the brewery tap, which is right next to the train station, right next to the bus station, right next to the car park. You might want to bring a pollution mask or something, because it's right next to all the major hubs of transport in Peterborough, but it's in the back room of the brewery tap, and it's going to be wonderful. We've got a live podcast sorted, we've got a quiz sorted, we've got loads of retro gaming things coming courtesy of the lovely Dean, who's also sorting the quiz. Sheepdog's got us the greatest raffle prize selection in the history of the universe. What?
Honestly, I can't believe how unsupportive literally everyone that ever supported us in the past has been on raffle items. I haven't been
Well,
shot
here you go
down
then. You can win Sheepdog in the raffle.
Yeah.
We'll raffle off Sheepdog himself. You can have an hour of his time to do what you will with. I think that's reasonable.
I don't think that's something people want. If that's something people would genuinely want, an hour of time.
An hour of making you go away or something, I'd be up for that. An hour of you... I'll have that hour from last week back, the one that you stole from us by not telling us you weren't on the podcast.
Did tell you. Told you numerous times there were witnesses and everything. And you responded, you damn moron. You're like, all right, sheepdog, or something like that. Yeah, whatever, sheepdog. And
perhaps I was saying hello. Perhaps that was me noticing you were there for the first time. If I said, all right, sheepdog.
That'd be quite funny. I never really considered that. Oh, God. All right, sheepdog. And I'm like, thanks for the confirmation. You sound very happy. I don't know. I can't really remember. But I also verbally told Pab, so he should be getting all the score on here, really. I'm pretty sure I said to him, I'm not about next week, I'm on a stag do. And he just sort of went,
and when did you tell me that, sheepdog?
All right, sheepdog.
When did you tell me that? When did you tell me
I'll
that,
let the others know, sheepdog. You don't worry, the old Pab's got it sorted out, mate.
What accent is that supposed to be that you're doing?
Pab, it's a perfect Pab. Everyone's listening. It's like, Pab, let sheepdog speak. Shame.
I look, I'm from Emmerdale.
You are from Emmerdale.
No, fortunately
So
not.
MGPX19, Saturday the 20th of July. It's a pay what you want event, so just turn up on the day and then grease our palms with silver when you're there. We've got the T-shirts are all sorted and they're available at differentisnotbroken.com for one more week and then they go off sale forever. If you ordered tickets through Indiegogo, then you should have had a message from me asking what size T-shirt you want and for your address. So if you haven't replied to that yet, make sure you do, and I'll make sure your shirts get sent out. The special event pass lanyard things that we've ordered for everyone who backed on Indiegogo, they're all ordered and should be with us within the next week or so, and there's going to be a few spares of them as well. So the first people to turn up on the day will be able to claim the spares of those, and it's just going to be a wonderful, awesome day. Let's get so many people there that the brewery tap never let us do an event there again because we were so far over capacity. That would make me very happy. Let's sell out Wembley.
Should we call it Let's Break the Tap?
We could do. What we should probably do is get the good people of Peterborough United Football Club on standby, so if we do get like 15,000 people turn up, we can just move it there.
If we get 15,000 people turn up, do you reckon they'll let us have a kickabout on the pitch?
Probably. It would be the highest attendance they've had in about 30 years.
And I mean all 15,000 of us. I don't want just an 11.
I don't think you can fit 15,000 people on one football pitch.
But I think that's what we'll be proving. We'll have like... I can't even do the maths. I've gone brain dead. Just over 5,500.
What maths are you trying to do?
Splitting 11,000 in two so we can be on the opposite teams.
For a start, it was 15,000.
15,000. Do you know, I wondered why I had 7,500 in my head, and I was thinking that's not 11,000, sheepdog. I'd forgotten what sums I was doing. So yeah, 7,500 aside. We could also break the world record for the biggest football match.
That's probably not the world record. I imagine it's much bigger than that.
Oh, I'm about to prove you wrong.
It's never happened before. It's unlikely to happen right now. But that's MGPX. Make sure you come along. It's going to be super. Other than that, I do have breaking news that the shop Menkind that I told Sheepdog about, Sheepdog, but I told Pab about last week, they now sell his pervy Japanese dolls. I actually went in rather than just walking past and looking in the window. That shop has been revolutionised, boys and girls. It's basically Forbidden Planet without the comics. If you've got a Menkind in your local shopping centre and you've written it off because it was just like, it's the shop that used to sell grow your own hair joke pills that I tried to sell Sheepdog and just whoopee cushions and absolute tat like that. It's not got any of that stuff in anymore. It's awesome. You should go and check out Menkind because it was just a wonderful experience when I was in there the other day, and it did feel like wandering around Forbidden Planet just without comics, so I could wander around it without having to spend any money. It was
wonderful. You've plugged them, why don't you ask them for some tat to give away?
Well, that's what I'm leading into. If Menkind want to sponsor next week's show, so we do that again, I'm up for that.
There you go. 2,357 players on the pitch is the world record, and the final score was 505-504 to the white team.
Well, there you go. You need to get on to Posh then and see if we can break a world record. They'll be up for that.
I think we need another 15,000 fans, to be fair, Kev. That's probably the biggest challenge here. It's not
No, the biggest challenge is getting a pitch. We'd do it just like that if we had a pitch.
Well, I've just messaged Dara and he said yeah.
Excellent. Right, has anybody played any video games this week?
Maybe.
Yeah, but I was hoping I could save that for next week and talk about E3 instead.
What?
Talk about what instead?
E3.
Oh, you cut out, so I didn't know what you said. I was all
Did
sorry.
I?
Yeah.
I thought you were all like, genuinely thought for a second you'd forgotten it was on, and I was just like, what?
We might as well have forgotten. It's the first year since we've had the podcast that I've not been that bothered about even talking about it because it was so uneventful.
Yeah, I kind of.
What do you actually want to say about it?
I mean, there was some stuff announced. This is the first year, weirdly for me personally, this is the first year that there's probably been at least 2 games that I was really looking forward to seeing. And ironically, so normally I look at it and go, "There's nothing there for me." This year I thought there's definitely stuff there for me. I'm gonna keep an eye out for it. And then they managed to make me want the games less, which is really gutting. Are you familiar with the phrase doing the rounds at the moment, Dexit?
No.
Yes.
I asked someone in my Facebook group whether they had their feelings on Dexit, and they were like, "Germany will never leave the EU." And I was like, "That's not what I'm talking about." So when they did the Pokemon Sword and Shield announcement, they decided to announce that they're not going to have the full-on every Pokemon in the game national dex to complete like they have in all the other Pokemons. You will only be able to get like 500 of them out of 1,000. And someone called it Dexit, and everyone's been going mental about it all week since.
And they're single-handedly going to ruin Nintendo with it as well. Didn't they wipe $1 billion off of the value of Nintendo?
What, in the past week?
Yeah, the next day, $1 billion was wiped off the value of Nintendo as a result of this Pokemon announcement.
That makes me feel more like they might actually bloody fix it. What a dumb thing to do. They said in the last gen that they had held back a little bit because they were trying to build all the like 3D models up and make it all future-proof, ready for when it moved to the console. And then when it came to the console, they were like, "We're going to do Let's Go," which I really enjoyed, but everyone was like, "Well, that's not the big game you announced." And then they said, "Oh, no, wait, we've got the new gen, and this is the big game we're going to announce." And then when they announced it, they went, "Yeah, we're going to take out half the Pokemon, and instead of having the special moves they can do, and the fact that some of them become Mega, which is like a 4th evolution, we're just going to make some of them grow really, 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 really big, like a Pokemon Go raid, and then your Pokemon can go really, 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 really big and beat them." And it's like, well, that just cancels out the other one being big and makes them both the same, so they might as well stay small. So that was their big reveal, and literally 99% of people went, "Well, I want all the Pokemon in it. That's the point." And
Why?
Because some people, not me personally, well, actually me, have like a whole the Pokemon Bank thing. You have to pay £5 a year to own. Lets you keep all the Pokemon you caught that are worth keeping from all the old games. So there's people out there who've got like Pokemon from Gen 3, because that's the first time you could really move them forward. That are like, 15-year-old Pokemon that they carry across every generation. And Nintendo
I think
and
it's
Game
for the
Freak
best
know this.
that they've been told to pack that nonsense in.
Well, no, this is the spirit of the game. It's all part and parcel of it. You're supposed to be able to get to like the end of the game, finish the game, and then send all your cool stuff in, or get quite late in it sometimes. But the idea is you basically complete it, and then you try and get all of them. That's how I play it, and there are just certain ones, like to get like Mew or Celebi or some of the really, really silly rare ones, you have to have gone to Japan in like the mid-90s and been at an event for 5 minutes or whatever. So it's all really stupid, convoluted stuff, and now they're saying, well, yeah, you just got to leave that in the past and you can never get it again. And it's all a bit weird, because this was supposed to be when Zelda moved to the Switch and it became literally the biggest version of it ever, and it was insane. That's how this new Pokemon generation was expected and supposed to be, and they've just gone, it was too hard to make them, so we haven't bothered.
Well, it'll serve all you nerds right if it ruins Nintendo and they never make the game and there's no Mario forevermore because silly Pokemon nerds ruined Nintendo.
A lot of people were saying they'd rather they delayed the game for 6 months and did it right, and I agree, I think.
That would cause even more problems stock market wise, because they already delayed Animal Crossing as well, didn't they? So
which is their own fault, because they're trying to cash it. They're just trying to phone it in. It's just silliness. It's like, I know it's hard to make games and all of this. I'm not stupid, but the point is, if you're designing it, you don't go, let's just cut half the content and then forget about it. Like, people genuinely have their favourites, weird favourites that they want to see in these games. That's the point. They're playing on a 20-year-old nostalgia trip, and that's literally their market. They want to play on the nostalgia, and so don't ruin it, which is what they're being shown now. Everyone's just gone ape, and I wasn't that fussed when I read it and thought, well, that's annoying. I like catching them all. That's the point of the game. The slogan is "Got to catch them all," and already people are making memes saying "Got to catch some of them" and stuff like that. And yeah, it just seems a bit silly to have thought they'd get away with it. After the fact they raised the bar so high with Zelda, and the fact that they took Super Smash Bros. And went, right, let's put every character ever put in any Super Smash, let's put it into this one. They made a big deal about how every character was going to be included. And then they're like, whoa, we're moving Pokemon to this big platform, let's do it properly. And then they've not done it properly. And I think people would have been happier if they had said a better gimmick than it's called Dynamaxing, making them bigger. That just looks really lame. Like, it's not even a clever looking graphic they've used. They've literally just made the picture bigger. You know, if you move the Switch closer to your face, that's the equivalent of what they've done. Just seems like a really, really, really lazy gimmick. And yeah, people have just had enough, which is good, I suppose, because it's the only way they're going to learn. I didn't realise it had wiped $1 billion off their stock prices, though. That is fantastic. That'll really poke them in the eye.
I've got a question for you.
Go on in.
Do you not just think they're going to add them in as DLC?
If they said that, people would be happy, wouldn't they? If they said, yeah, well, we are going to do it. Because when I was on Reddit, I was saying to people, well, they'll probably just say, we'll stick it in, if we're releasing it in November, we'll stick them in February. And people will go, oh, fair enough, because it's going to take a little while.
It's going to be like an expansion pass where they give you an extra island to go and catch the other Pokemon.
Well, you don't normally catch them, you just bring them through and trade them and stuff like that. I'd be surprised if they... The only way that I can imagine... The best way for them to do DLC would be if they added in a new region, if they said, like...
Yeah.
The region from... I think people are guessing because the region from Gen 6 was French, they had like an Eiffel Tower rip-off and stuff like that, and the region from this game is English, the French region were warring with a region to the west of where they are. Everyone thinks that these two regions were probably at war at one point, and the DLC could add the French region back in, and you could travel there through a tunnel under the sea, and it all kind of matches the real world then. And so there was lots of people spreading rumours that they had done that, and then there was no announcement, so people were a little bit disappointed about that as well. But that could be a good DLC that would bring in the rest of the Pokemon.
Maybe they're just doing that then, just because...
I hope so. By now they should have bloody announced it. They've lost £1 billion in value, Pab. You think someone would go, well, yeah, that backfired. First game companies should stop trying to mess around with people and just lay their cards out properly instead of going, we're going to take everything off you, and expecting everyone to go, okay, fine, I'll pay full value for that. Take what you want.
Sheepdog sounds like one of these entitled gamers.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same
Do you want
thing.
them to change the ending of Mass
It's not
Effect
that
over there?
entitled. Do you get, like, if their big announcement was, oh, by the way, everyone, we've halved the amount of Pokemon in the game instead of adding to it. It's supposed to be the next generation.
But if that's the game they want to make, then
they're
let
balls
them
to
make
them.
the
They've done
game
it
they want
wrong.
to make. Well, then don't buy it.
That's in your opinion, though.
Yeah, but that's the exact point. They've lost $1 billion in value in their shares and everything because people have said, I'm not buying it.
But when BioWare made the Mass Effect game they wanted to make, you were on the other side of the fence. Of a view of, well, they make the game they want to make, people can either like it or not.
Yeah, no, I'm still on that side of it. They can do what they want.
Make the game you want now.
I think that they've been shown that it was a dumb mistake. When someone makes a dumb mistake, they should have to own it. I didn't think Mass Effect made a dumb mistake. I like their ending.
So people can only be entitled if you agree with it.
No, I just think if you're doing something dumb and it backfires, you should either fix it.
But lots of people thought the ending of Mass Effect 3 was dumb.
Yeah, they did. But what I'm trying to say is I don't mind if they carry on with this. I just won't be bothered about... I probably will still get it, but I don't know that I'll get it. I don't think I'm that bothered about getting it. And it's just... I'm glad they're being punished by other people. I'm glad they're getting hit by it, because it's showing that the thing that I don't like is a big enough deal, really. If they want to go ahead and do that, I don't have any ill will towards them. I just feel like it's their own fault for basically taking the biggest franchise in the world and going, we can't really be bothered this gen, we're going to half-arse it. That's what they're doing. They're not saying, we've made a creative decision to only include half. They've just gone, it's too hard. They've literally said, it was just too hard, we didn't want to do it. And it's like, well, it's not that hard, you just don't want to do it, because you don't want to pay to have a bigger team of modelers to do it. That's literally their decision. That's fine if they want to do that, but they build it as the big definitive next gen, we're going to add in new stuff. They didn't say they were going to take away half the old stuff to do that. It's their fault for hyping it like that, isn't it? If Mass Effect had said we're going to have one ending and that's our ending, and then they gave 3 endings after, you'd be like, well, yeah, that doesn't marry with what you promised. But I've been making excuses in advance of this as to why the last gen was watered down. I would love to see
the figures for how many people actually bring their Pokemon forward from previous generations, as opposed to the amount of people who just take each game as a new game. Because I've played most Pokemon games, I should think, and I've started everyone completely fresh and never brought.
Well, I have too, but I think the point is more knowing that once you've got the 150, let's say, for that region, it's the end game of being able to then try and reach the next highest number that is the point. So, like with Sun and Moon, I'd got the 80 that they'd added in that, which is a very low number compared to all the others. But again, they'd said, because we're going to add a lot more next time, and then they aren't doing that. But when I got to the 80 and I'd done that game, I thought, well, okay, now I'll try and get to the 800 and whatever it was, 70. And I think I got quite far before I just kind of got, time got in the way or whatever. I think the next one came out and I started trying to do it in that. But that's what people want to do. They want a game where they can just keep trying to max out and get to the ending. That's the point of Pokemon, isn't it? Catching them all.
But if that's not the game Nintendo want to make anymore, if they want to do it, take it in a different direction, they shouldn't have a bunch of entitled numpties wiping $1 billion off the value of their company for it. It's insane.
People didn't go and just scrub that off. They've just
no,
I
people
don't like that.
Reacted so furiously that investors panicked.
Because
that's what happened.
They should surely be doing the research about what people want beforehand, shouldn't they?
They should just be allowed to make the game that they want. And if
they're making the 8th generation of a 20-odd year series, that they've just set certain things expectations, haven't they? Really?
Assassin's Creed took Desmond off me, and Ubisoft didn't have a.
You've never stopped going on about it, have you? You've never stopped going on about how they took that story away from you.
Yeah, but my response, I don't expect them to change it. I just haven't played one of their games since.
Yeah, and that's basically what's happened here. Everyone's gone, well, I just won't play it. And
they all will. That's the thing. They all will.
Yeah, but that's not. You've touched quite a few of the Assassin's Creed games.
I haven't played.
You're confusing your own point now.
Nonsense.
Because I bet a lot of people were like, I'd have preferred the Animus being in there and all of that. They probably said that, and then they've carried on anyway. In this instance, they've just happened to have messed with a particularly
nerdy fan base.
Yeah,
who've completely overreacted to something that's not really a big deal.
It is the main part. I mean, to be honest, the story of Pokemon games have been pretty basic for the whole of its lifetime. The main fun is trying to collect them all, and I usually don't carry them over. My point to you earlier on about old people bringing on old ones, that is quite a niche group. I don't tend to do that, but I do like being able to get them all and have them all on a Pokedex there and try and maximise that.
So in this version, there's 500 of them. That's all of them. That's all of the ones that are available in this game.
More. That's the point.
In this game there isn't. In this game there's 500. Catch all them.
No, there is more. I know there's more. That's the point.
Was there anything else at E3 that anybody cared about? Pab, you mentioned you made 1 or 2 notes.
I made my customary notes of everything. Spent many a nights just watching streams, staying up late.
How did you even find enough streams to watch? Sony weren't there. Obviously, you didn't watch Ubisoft, surely, because
I watched Ubisoft. I watched Square Enix. I watched Nintendo. I watched EA. I watched Microsoft.
That's more than I've ever done. All I do on a normal E3 year is watch Microsoft and Sony.
I do it every year. And
you are mad.
I can go through this entire book, and you can find that about every year. There's about in June. There's about 10 pages of notes, just similar, just scribbles of just basically titles and release dates. That is about it.
I thought you'd be raving about the Minecraft dungeon game, Kev.
Minecraft Dungeons does look good.
It's basically a Minecraft version of
Watch
Diablo.
Dogs.
Sorry, Anna?
Did you say Watch Dogs?
No, I said Minecraft Dungeon.
Oh.
I thought Kev would be raving about that, sorry, because it's just Diablo in Minecraft.
Not really. I'd rather have Diablo or
Oh,
Minecraft.
no, Kevin, you
I
like the look of that, don't I?
It looks fine. I know I won't play it, though. I like the look of Minecraft Story Mode as well, and I've never played that either.
Yeah.
I assumed Anna was enjoying the, what's it called, Borderlands 3?
Yep. Played the new DLC the evening I downloaded it. Day after, played it. Enjoyed it immensely. It was very fun. More over.
I tried to find details of the Final Fantasy VIII remaster they announced, because that was great news. Yeah, they're remastering it.
I know they're doing 7. I didn't know they're doing 8 as well.
No, they're not remaking 8. They're remastering it like they did 9. The article I read called 8 the Black Sheep of the Final Fantasy family. I'm absolutely outraged by that opinion.
Here he is again.
No. I'm more outraged by that opinion than I am by the Final Fantasy thing. By the Pokemon thing. How is 8 the Black Sheep? I thought 13 was the turd. 8's like it's probably the best story out of all of them.
Alright, they'll remake it. It's fine, Sheepdog.
They're remastering it, yeah.
They give it into you. They give it into you.
I'm entitled to that.
Yes.
But no, I think that was just one guy's opinion. But no, I'm excited that they're...
I wonder if we went back through our timelines. That's probably the one that came out when Sheepdog was just the right age to really enjoy it.
7 was the one that came out just at the right age. Like literally everyone says that. 8 just had a really, really cool card game in it that's probably the best card game ever to be put in games ever.
Oh, was it called Caravan?
Triple Triad.
Oh, I don't know, Caravan. No, that's Fallout. Yeah.
Triple Triad is factually the best game
It's
ever.
obviously not as good as the one that was in The Witcher. That was a great
I knew you were going to say, quite.
And I'm excited that I now get to play The Witcher as well. Now, Witcher 3
don't get
now
me
is coming out on
started.
Switch. I'll actually get to play that game. That was
got
one of the high
legitimately giddy.
points.
Yep.
Yeah, I will buy that. Launch day,
Well.
I will have that.
You'll never
and
play
I will
it.
play through. No, I will. I'll play through the whole thing on Switch.
Final Fantasy
Can't wait.
VIII's coming out on Switch. You could play Triple Triad on that and realise that you're wrong, and it is absolutely
You've got me
insane.
playing a terrible Final Fantasy game before. I had 7 on my Vita and gave it a good 10 hours and just didn't understand what the fuss was about. It was just rubbish.
Yeah, but 8 was like more like modern games. It was
One more.
cinematic. It was cool. It was very good. Very, very good. I'm excited. I will continue my tirade of ranting by saying that I'm excited about the remake of FF7, but they have me worried a little bit. Like this one, I'm more in line with Kevin that I'm respecting the decisions they've made, but it feels a bit weird that they've added in things. So I didn't realise that, and I get why. They've only done the first maybe 20 hours of Final Fantasy VII at this point, because obviously it's much more intensive to make it good and big and new, and it's a much bigger game and all of this. And for someone like me, being able to play the first 20 hours and finish and be done and then wait a little while longer, I'm probably more likely to finish this. But what they've done is they're releasing like the big versions, the special editions, a £250 version of this that comes with a model, and they're adding in DLC summons and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, there wasn't summons at this point in the game. You don't get summons for at least another 10 hours in this game. They've added in stuff that means it makes it sound like this. You're going to be really overpowered at a really early point in this game, and I'm a bit confused. I'm like, what? I thought they were just remaking it. I didn't realise they were. I don't know what they're doing. It's a bit. I'm intrigued, but it feels like they're just adding stuff in to kind of then flog it to people. I mean, that's not the end of the world, is it? I'm sounding like I'm outraged at someone trying to make money there, but I was a bit like, it sounds like you're massively overpowering them. It also feels like if you do that and then the next one comes out, all the stuff you paid money for on this one will be useless in the next one, because otherwise you're going to have to escalate it further, won't they? So you end up at like max power at a much higher level than you did in the old game, if that makes sense. So it was an odd reveal, I thought. It was kind of like, so you haven't just kind of stuck to the vague format you had before. You've absolutely redone it, which, yeah, I suppose that's a good thing. But I watched it and thought, what? There's a lot of button mashing in this one as well. It's not just press X, he attacks, wait 30 seconds to press it again. It's just hammer the square button over and over again, which I suppose, again, is what people want these days rather than sort of sitting around.
So, Pab, what were your highlights?
Yes. I can tell you about something that I've actually played this very evening, which was the Forza Horizon Lego Champions DLC.
Oh, is that out?
It came out on the day, and I've got the Ultimate Edition, so it came with it. So I played it this evening, and it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. So you go to an island, like you did with was it Hot Wheels? It was Hot Wheels, wasn't it, in Forza Horizon 3?
It was.
You go to an island, and it's pretty much all Lego. Pretty much all Lego base. There's still like regular trees and what have you in certain areas and stuff like that, and there's still regular cars as well. So you're racing Lego cars and regular cars. Based on what I've seen, there's like the premise is you go to the Horizon Festival, and of course it's playing Everything is Awesome because that's what it would do, yeah. And you have to build your own house. You know, like you have a house there, don't you? You can buy houses, can't you, on Forza Horizon? And
You can.
this time you are building your own house, but you don't have bricks. You have to earn bricks, and you then. So I was like, okay, so you just get this big plot of land, and then you bring up like the map, like this challenge board, or whatever it is, and it's just a pit. It's like a massive screen full of challenges, and it's just like 10 bricks for this challenge, 10 bricks for that challenge, 40 bricks for this. And it's just challenges on challenges on challenges, and some of them are just like, find this location, do this many jumps. It's just like it's pretty much all just like challenges based around doing stuff in the world, like probably speed cameras and win this race and do this and that and so on and so on. And it's just, and I think I did like about 4 or 5 of them, and then I looked, I was like, surely I can go on better. I said, no, you need 120 more bricks to start building. I was like, oh my word! But there's just so many challenges. It's just like a huge screen of like challenges to do, these brick challenges, and yeah, it's pretty much, like I say, it drives the same. It feels exactly the same as Forza Horizon 4 does. But with Lego people and Lego cars, and it's
Does sound fun.
it is awesome, as they say. It's really good.
Everything is awesome, is it?
It so far so good, yeah. So that was one of the highlights from
Is this
Microsoft.
included in my fancy Game Pass thing that I upgraded to?
I'm not sure.
For this?
I'm not sure. I'm not
It's
certain.
better.
I know. But Forza Horizon 4 is. I don't know whether the actual
Yeah, that's how I played it. I didn't actually buy it.
DLC
It
is.
came out. I'm having a look on the Xbox app on my
Yeah.
PC, the new Xbox app. Forza Horizon 4.
So-
Carry
Yeah,
on.
they'll just let you play it. I don't think it'll give you.
Add-ons. No, you have to buy it, even if you've got Game Pass. That
Right. So like I say, so that add-on isn't an add-on. Then,
Idiots.
isn't an right. Yeah,
giving
because
these
I
people £1 for this service for the next 13 months, and they expect me to give them more money now.
13 months. You're giving them £1.
How did that
Yeah,
work?
because
I
right,
got
the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate thing, the
Yes.
one that covers Xbox Game Pass for PC and Xbox Live.
Mhm.
It's during the trial phase. It's just £1 to try the trial of the combined one. Is it
Yes.
called Ultimate?
Yes, Ultimate.
And it rolls in any existing subscriptions that you've got. So I already had Game Pass and Xbox Live on subscription. My Xbox Live ran until the end of July next year. So I pay £1 now and don't have to pay anything more for the Game Pass thing until after my Xbox Live would have expired.
Right, okay.
I've had people who've gone out and bought like 2-3 years of Xbox Live and now don't have to pay anything towards Game Pass until like 2022.
See, the thing is for me is I'm like, I'll just buy, because I've let my subscriptions for Games with Gold, Xbox Live and PS Plus lapse because I don't use it particularly anymore. The consoles, I'm playing more on PC. And when they announced this, I did the same. I got this for £1 for the first month or whatever it is, and then it says that it's going to be $3.99 a month on the PC. I don't, for $3.99 a month, I don't mind.
Yeah, mine
that's
says it'll be
insane.
$10.99 a month because I've got the one that includes everything, but I don't start paying it until July next year.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
You
I was
have
thinking,
to start the demo for it to set your date, or is it too late now?
Yeah. No, you pay your quid and then it tells you when you pay your first instalment, basically.
But I mean, like, if I went and got like a multi-year
if you went and got 5 years of Xbox Live Gold now and then upgraded it, you'd have this free for a long time.
Right. Interesting.
yeah, that sounds all right then, doesn't it? That sounds like a good thing to have.
But
Yeah,
for
that's
the PC only one, it's $3.99. And of
Yeah.
course, Football Manager got a shout out at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I was so proud.
Yeah,
It's on Game Pass for PC.
yeah. It seems all right. It seems okay.
Also a launch title for Google Stadia as well. Football Manager's going places, boys and girls. You've been mocking me for years. This time next year, we're going to be wearing sunglasses indoors like the FIFA boys. I do that anyway, but we'll be as cool as the FIFA lot.
Yeah, I've seen you in Bodines with glasses on.
Exactly. So I can see my food, pub.
Yeah. Other highlights from Microsoft in particular, the Cyberpunk demo in general video was just unbelievable again.
Want it.
Yep, and Keanu Reeves just turns up and...
Don't you mean Fortnite Man?
Fortnite Man, yeah.
Yeah, that's what kids are calling him online because that's all they know him from.
I'm creeped out by the meme going around that shows pictures of him from like the 1500s all the way up to modern day, and now this future version of him. He is Rasputin, isn't he? That is basically confirmed. He's been alive forever.
It certainly is.
And now he'll live forever in Fortnite. And apparently in Cyberpunk,
And
as well.
Cyberpunk, yeah.
It's just creepy.
and-
He hasn't aged in 500 years, Kev.
Lots of people haven't aged in 500 years.
Well, yeah, most of them are dead, but this one's alive and he's an actor.
You don't know that. Have you met him?
I've seen him in films, which
Yeah, he could have just been CGI. I've seen the Incredible Hulk in films. He's not strolling around LA waiting for his next role.
That's a really good point. Jesus, you might have just uncovered the fact that he's literally just CGI of a painting that someone dug up from the 1500s.
Exactly.
Oh man, that'd be well weird, wouldn't it? It just turns out he just gets an upgrade. That's why he looks so good.
If I was a Hollywood executive now, I would probably be thinking, are we ready to create an actor yet and see how long we can fool the public for?
And they'd have probably had that technology 25 years ago, wouldn't they?
Exactly. So, who is he the one that was created to fool the public? And we'll figure it when he still looks like that in 100 years. They'll finally, okay, he was never real.
The Matrix is probably one big.
That was his tech demo.
Yeah. I mean, I know he was in Bill and Ted, but he was quite basic in that, wasn't he?
That could have been anyone. He had long hair and all sorts in that.
Ironing
That
out the
wasn't him.
kinks and stuff then, wasn't he?
Yeah. That was just the guy who laid down the voice track for him. Spoke every word out of the dictionary.
I bet if you watch Bill and Ted through, they probably do cover aardvark to zigzag or whatever the last word is.
There you go. We've this will be headline news by Saturday afternoon because we've uncovered the greatest con in Hollywood history. We're going to be famous. We'll be more famous than Keanu Reeves was before we all realised he was fake.
He'll hear this and he'll just start glitching out.
Anyway, Cyberpunk comes out on the 16th of April of 2020.
Yeah, not a great date for me.
No?
No. That'll be like my last month before I finish uni.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
No, not great time for me.
Has Kevin that helped you get your average high enough that you can just phone it in?
I don't know what you're saying because
she's got to do her dissertation. That's still kind of something
you can't phone that in, really, sheepdog.
Yeah.
I thought you did, or was that not? I'm confused. Yeah, I'm sure you basically just stopped on the last 2 modules.
Yeah, but I did my dissertation properly.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. You just stopped mid-sentence on a few of them, didn't you?
Yeah, towards the end, my average was so high that I didn't need the grades for the last couple of units. But the dissertation counts double, so I had to get the grades for that.
Makes sense.
Exactly. It's all a game.
One game that you will be looking forward to, and I imagine, which is coming out in October, is The Outer Worlds.
Yep, want that.
Yep. The Outer Worlds was a highlight for me from Obsidian.
Yep,
that's coming out on everything, isn't it? It's not just an Xbox game, but it's coming out on everything. Mm-hmm. It's coming to Game Pass though on launch, which is something. But it looked very much like a.
But I'll still want it on PlayStation.
It looked like a bit of a Fallout game mixed with a bit of a Borderlands. For me, I'd like it. Not Borderlands, maybe a little bit Borderlands, kind of stylistically. It's like space, sci-fi.
But it's made by the people that made New Vegas?
Yes,
yeah.
made by the New Vegas people. So yeah, that was a good one. What else have we got? I've got literally a page I'm just scanning through. Bethesda, Fallout 76, Anna.
Oh yeah. So I've been online. I've played the Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I came
How did you get
second.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Can't believe you're leading with this as your Fallout 76 news of the week.
Yeah, well, I'm getting there, but yeah, I came second. Basically, you start in Vault 51 with everybody else. Everyone is punching each other around.
Really?
Like, what are you people doing? Why are you? But it was free, so everyone who hasn't got the game was also playing it. So, like, that was fine. Like, you're in the vault. There's like boards everywhere that tell you what to do. Like when you first start the original game, you'd go through the vault and you'd pick up certain items. These are just boards telling you what you're supposed to do. You get automatically put into a group of 4. I believe you can group up with your friends, but if you don't have any friends that are playing it, you get put into a group. I think it's 4. It's either 3 or 4. I can't remember. And then
It's 4.
A timer comes up and a map comes up and you pick a spot, and everyone that's on your team can pick a spot, and you can move to that spot if you've picked somewhere else, or they can move to you. If no one moves and all is scattered, then you're scattered. You don't really have a team. So I've mostly gone with where everybody else was, and then you get dropped in, and for about 30 seconds you're invisible. So if someone else who's not on your team is in that area, you can't see each other, but you can go and find where loot boxes are. There's 3 sizes of loot boxes: small, medium, large. Larger have got better stuff in, so like your armor, your like stim packs and stuff. So you grab all that you can get, and then you become visible, and then you go and shoot people. And I came second, so I was like, yes.
Very good.
I only played it a few times because Battle Royale games scare me to death. I don't know why, because I know what's happening. It's just scaring people, but I can't work in that situation. But I wanted to have a go because everybody else was playing it. I thought when I was looking, and today I had a package, and Kevin was like, "What have you been buying?" I was like, "Nothing," and I opened it and I looked at it, I still don't know this. Took it out, its package, because it was like in a small package, like really small. Took it out, unraveled it, and it was my Vault-Tec, West-Tec canvas bag. So now I can throw away the nylon bag, and I now have a massive canvas bag that I can put my helmet in, but I'm just going to use it to look at. So
I'm going to use it to go swimming and stuff.
No, you're not. It's I could
Persona
fit
5 bag for.
I could literally fit myself in that bag. It's so big.
I'll use it if I have to beat you and smuggle you somewhere. I'll knock you out and put you in this bag and drag you out to the car.
But yeah, it's proper canvas. It looks a bit bigger than what was advertised when I bought the collector's edition, but you know what?
Send it back.
No, it's canvas. They made the promise of that it will be here between like May and June. It's June. It's here. So they are forgiven for the bag fiasco. So I have 2 bags now. So yay.
If Nintendo send you a bag, will you forgive them, Sheepdog?
Why would
What?
they
Sorry?
send me a bag?
Don't worry.
Okay. Well, I haven't been into the actual Fallout 76 game for a while, just because.
No, but there is NPCs coming now.
Yes, that was excellent news.
Yes,
So I'll
Wastelanders
definitely go in.
DLC, however it's coming, is
But that's not till
that's
the
fall.
winter, isn't
saying,
it?
yeah.
So
But it's coming now. It is coming. It might bring people back to the game.
it
Finally.
might, like, it's not a bad game. It's just it does feel very empty, and though I don't mind empty, sometimes you're like, when you've done it 4 times, you're like, it's quite empty. Like, there's not a lot going on. But it's because I don't want. I get to like level 30 and then I can't go to the next area because again, scares me to death. Like what's in that area in the mire. No, thank you. And in the forest, and it just looks not the forest. I think it's the mire where there's like Mirelurk queens and like webs of tangled vines. No, thank you. I'd rather not.
We need to do a video series of Joanna playing scary games.
Yeah, I can't. I literally can't do it anymore. Like, I got Resident Evil and I literally, when what's his face turned up, went, nope, and I sold the game. I just couldn't cope with the pressure. Like, I was like, okay, he's here, fine, but he follows you everywhere. And just that thump, no, thank you. So, no, I won't. I just can't do it. I don't even know why. I just nope. So that was fun. I also so Borderlands 3 was shown, and then it was like and more, and then again more because like they were teasing, and they brought out the new DLC that I knew it was coming, but I needed it to be confirmed. It's Lily in the Fight for Sanctuary. It's very good. It's like a big chunk of DLC. It is big. It took me about 10 hours to do.
Okay.
It's quite chunky. You've got multiple areas. You've got a whole quest line. You've got like a handful of like side quests that are fun to do, and they're just. I love it. Like so they have the rainbow rarity. Weapons in this DLC, so you've got all your pearlescents and your oranges and whatnot, and so when you see like a rainbow beam coming off it, you're like, right, get that. And I didn't personally get this one, but I've seen online that there's one that so there's a character called Butt Stallion who is a diamond pony. It's just made of diamonds. Yes. He's a pony, and this gun shoots him out of it, like just constantly shoots that Butt Stallion at people so he can kill them, munch on them. But that's what the bullets are about, and I thought that was funny. But what did mine do? Oh, I can't remember now. But I had one that was just like, I thought there was so much going on because it's like it would shoot out, but it would shoot sideways and it would shoot down, but it would just shoot every way. You know what I mean? And there was so much going on the screen, like with all the characters and stuff. And I suffered no lag whatsoever or slowdown. Like I've played Division recently, and that's just awful. The slowdown on that because of what was going on the screen. But this one, yes, it's single player. I'm not online, but no lag whatsoever. It was perfect. It was just amazing. But yeah, it's very much. I would suggest that if you haven't finished Borderlands 2, finish it before you go to this because things happen that you can't undo really. But I've finished that multiple times. I don't need to finish again. I was level 40 when I went in, and I got to level 43, but that's because it takes forever to level up when you're in them like 40s levels. It's just, and I was on my own, and it was fine. I've got a bunch of orange weapons, a bunch of rainbow ones, but yeah, it was fun. It's just you go and play it. But it basically ties in Borderlands 2 with Borderlands 3. It doesn't, obviously the pre-sequel is before all of this, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, it links 2 with 3, which is good in a way, because you need it to kind of link it. It ties up some loose ends. You get some character information. There was like slight hints of the Telltale games. There was like a mention of the characters in that, which was fun. But yeah, it's free. It's free for a couple of weeks, and then you'll have to pay it. But Borderlands 2, the Handsome Collection, is free on PlayStation Plus. So if you download that now, you can download this, and then you can just play it. But yeah, great fun. Really enjoyed it. Like, I haven't played Borderlands in a while, but I got back into it. So, like, this is why I play this game. This game's just funny. It's just mental, and yes, I'm all about Borderlands. They're fun games, but it was nice to play it again. But it does take up 60 gig on my PlayStation, so it needs to go.
Wow.
It's so big. Wow. And then I watched the Watch Dogs. I'm now playing Watch Dogs 2 because I desperately want this game, but it's out again. Like, the only thing that bugged me about the E3, the bits I watched, was a lot of 2020, and I was just like, no, don't show me next year, show me this year. Like, I can only think of like 2 games I want this year, and that's Borderlands and that Obsidian one.
Outer Worlds.
Yep. I can't think of anything else because everything else is out next year.
I can give you a few things.
Go on,
Doom.
Nah.
Doom Eternal. Wolfenstein.
Yes, I like them. That's July, isn't it?
Wolfenstein, the Youngblood. That's out in a couple of weeks. It's end of July.
Yeah.
I think. Got a few other things. There's a lot of it. Did you watch the Nintendo one? Nintendo.
No, I was. Where was I?
Nintendo
I think I was at work, so no.
Nintendo had a lot.
Okay.
Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out this year.
Oh, is that this year? I saw it advertised, but I didn't get a date on that. Oh, cool. Excellent.
Did I hear the Zelda remake, you actually play as Zelda for some of it?
Zelda remake? Do you mean Link's Awakening?
Sequel.
The sequel? We don't know. It was just a cutscene.
Oh, right. People were going, I can't believe you get to play as her for...
No, we don't know anything about it. The sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, there's not. It was literally a cutscene. It wasn't anything in particular.
Right. Did they not do like a breakdown a bit later on then after the fact?
I don't know. From what I saw in the direct, it was just a cutscene, and it said like, we're working on Breath of the Wild sequel.
Like, Reddit makes E3 way more confusing because people start stating stuff as fact. And I know I've been contributing to it, but a lot of people get swept up in outrage and excitement and about things that may not even be right. So yeah, people were going on about how you could play as her in this game, and it was much more around her and all of this. And I quickly had a look at the video and thought it doesn't seem to say much, but I haven't played the previous one yet, so it's like, because I don't normally like Zelda games, but people were so hyped about this and were for that I do feel like it's got to be on the radar at some point, isn't it?
A few other things from Nintendo. The Link's Awakening game, the one that's like a little like cartoony style Nintendo game, that the remake of the Game Boy game, that's coming out on September 20th. We've got, what have we got from Nintendo? We obviously got Pokemon. We don't want to mention that again.
What are your thoughts on that, Sheepdog?
Don't start him. Good. Astral Chain, which is a platinum game, that's out at the end of August, apparently. We've got the Marvel Ultimate Alliance is out in July.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited about that.
That looks good.
What is
That
the
does look
score?
good.
Is that the Square one? No, that's Avengers,
No.
isn't it? Marvel Alliance.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance is basically Diablo with Marvel.
Oh yeah. I saw that again. I watched the video of this one. I actually thought that looked pretty cool.
Which is why I'm not as excited about the Minecraft one as I was when I first saw
Yeah.
it. 2 days later, I saw that one.
Yeah.
Hey, is this the one where you can personalise the people, or was that something else? There was like a Hawkeye with ginger hair or something like that I saw.
I don't know about that.
I don't remember seeing that.
Again, Reddit confusing me, I think.
Yeah. So one thing you didn't mention announced in Nintendo Direct was Ni no Kuni 1 coming back, a remaster. And that's coming to Switch. It's coming to everything, I think. It's coming
Oh,
play that
really?
as well, finally.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'll play
Kevin,
that.
I told you this.
I'm more hyped about that than literally anything I made notes on.
Yeah, I got really excited about that because I'll play it on the Switch, definitely.
I always feel really awkward because for maybe a year, because I played the original on PS3, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it was only on PS3, yeah.
Ollie was little and he kept saying to me, can we play the game where the boy called Oliver's mum dies? And that's how he remembers it being called. And I'd always be like, no, not right now. So he'll be chuffed to see the boy called Oliver's mum die again, and me run around trying to start that game. I wonder if I'd ever get to actually play it. But that's really hyped me up. Are they doing anything to it, or is it just like a port?
I imagine it'll just be a port. I don't know for certain.
Probably doesn't need much doing.
It's not going to need. Yeah, it's not to get on the Switch. It ain't going to need much doing. It's going to, if anything, going to need downgraded. So
yeah, no, awesome.
So yeah, I think it is coming to PS4 and Xbox as well. But I know it was announced on the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's going to be good, that one. I'm looking forward to that one. Like Kev said, Witch is coming out on Switch, and I will play that all over again and cannot wait for that one. It's just probably my favourite game ever, and I would like to say. And apparently, I've read. When did I read Digital Foundry or something like that, and it runs as well like it would run on a regular PS4, which is to me is bonkers because that's still surprising. But apparently, it runs in comparison to like a standard PS4 would, so that can't be bad. What else have we got? We've got all sorts of stuff. We mentioned Avengers, Marvel's Avengers from Square Enix. What did you think of that one, Kev?
No Hawkeye, no Kev.
No. But what if it's the fact that it's going to be a live game and Hawkeye will be in there at some point?
If I can't play as Hawkeye, I don't
Yeah, but
play it.
You will be able to play as Hawkeye at some point.
Well, then I'll play it then.
What did you think of the trailer, though?
I didn't watch it because I heard Hawkeye wasn't in it.
You're a moron.
I'm not a moron. Hawkeye's my favourite
But
Avenger.
Kev, what if this is the version of the game they want to make?
Then that's fine. I'm just not going to play it.
Entitled.
No, because I'm not asking them to change
Hawkeye.
it.
You like Rocket Man, Iron Man.
Rocket Man,
Hawkeye.
that's Elton John, Anna. You're getting your things confused again.
I do. Yeah, I'm not playing this because I can't play as Elton John, and that's the end of it. Yeah, I'll watch the trailer when they announce one with Hawkeye in.
I thought it looked alright, me, personally. I know people were like kind of confused as to what it is, and they're right, because it doesn't show you, it doesn't give you any explanation of what it is.
No.
Based on the trailer. It's just very much. I feel like it's from Crystal Dynamics, which is the Tomb Raider people.
Okay.
So I get the feeling it's more like that than anything else.
It won't be another Diablo-y type thing. They've already got Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They've already got Marvel Legends. They can't just keep making that kind of game with Marvel characters.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more character action based, similar to Tomb Raider and what have you. From what I can tell, from what I've heard, but yeah, I thought it looked all right. We've got all sorts of stuff from here. Like I say, we mentioned Doom. there's loads of there's many games here. Gears 5 coming out in September. Are we ready for Gears 5?
Yeah.
I'm fully right for Gears Pop, whatever it's called.
You couldn't care less. You want Gears
Genuinely
Pop?
couldn't care less about Gears of War. I didn't play the last one. Or the one before, possibly.
Does feel like they made a mistake with the getting rid of the Horde mode again, the proper one.
The last one I played was Gears of War 3, so I don't know how many there've been since then.
4. The 4 was the last one.
What about the other one?
Wasn't there Judgment as well?
Yeah.
You didn't need to play Judgment, though.
Yeah, I bloody bought it pre-release and spent through the eye on it and then played it once. Never listening to Kev again.
I probably will play 5.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
4,
exactly.
It'll be on Game Pass. 4's on Game Pass. 4 on Game Pass on PC, by the way, is over 100 gig.
I won't ever need to know that because I'm never going to download it.
Yeah, I downloaded it and with the intention of playing it, so I will play it at some point. But yeah, that's the thing that impressed me about Microsoft is that pretty much every game they were announcing is coming to Game Pass day one of release.
This is definitely their thing, isn't it? They wanted to take the disc drive away in the last generation, but they're finally getting to the point where Xbox is just a gaming platform that can be on a box under your telly, but it can be on a PC, can be on something else. Doesn't matter what it's on, and this is how you get your games. Obviously, you don't get them on a disc. You're not a caveman. You just download them. You stream them. Mm-hmm. They're finally moving in the direction they wanted to move in 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And they announced all the streaming stuff, and that's coming in October. And you can stream from your Xbox console when it becomes available. So realistically, going forward, you won't need to buy another console if you're part of the streaming service, whoever it is. I don't know the full details of that right now, but
the way they explained it was your existing Xbox could play the next gen Xbox stuff if you stream it, similar to how Google Stadia is going to work and how On Live worked seamlessly back in the day.
Yeah. But with that, they did announce. Well, they announced Project Scarlet, which is the next console as well, which they are claiming to be 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X. And give
was a really interesting announcement for that as well. Some really interesting people saying some stuff that everyone understands.
Yeah, they give you a lot of detail about it, and it's got SSDs in it, and people want SSDs now. People need SSDs. It's supposed to give you 40 times the performance on things. So
there was a part where they said it's going to run so fast because they've combined the solid state drive with an SSD.
That's the same thing.
It is the same thing. What? You've done what? I think you're playing computer hardware buzzword bingo here. That made me question everything else they said. Because this wasn't someone live fluffing their lines. This was in their pre-prepared promo thing that they did.
Combined their processor with a CPU as well, Kev.
Exactly. It's just, this is clearly all nonsense because that part's nonsense. So I don't believe a word of it.
It's just like Pab and his bloody frames per second all over again, isn't it?
That
and teraflops, that stupid word, they're like flopping around.
The next Xbox is coming out holiday 2020.
Which holiday? Pab, Easter? Columbus Day?
They said.
Bank holiday weekend?
All of them.
Presumably.
Halloween? New Year's Day?
None of that matters because it's already here because we've got it on PC.
Yeah. Well,
so many rumours that it'll end up on Switch as well, and then it didn't happen.
What?
Xbox game. That was the other reason Nintendo lost loads of money off the value of the company, because there was a really strong rumour that Xbox Game Pass was coming to Switch.
It still might, to be fair. You never know.
Yeah, but it didn't then, so
no,
there goes the value of your company.
Yeah, exactly. What else have we got? We got any Ubisoft stuff? You mentioned Watch Dogs, Anna. Watch Dogs looked good, didn't it? The Watch Dogs Legion. Where you can play as anyone, literally anyone.
Can I play as me?
If you can find someone that looks like you can play as you. But you could just have like a group of old ladies. And the Queen.
What I like the look of is, for the first time in a game, I can just wander around a place that I know.
That you know, yeah.
That
definitely.
I know, and I can wander in and
Can
say
I play
I
as
know.
Elton John?
If he's in the game, I don't see why not. It's
Then I'll
if
watch
they're in
the
the game.
trailer for this one now.
Watch Dogs Legion looks
Oh, it looks
pretty cool.
really good. Like,
yes.
like the fact I didn't like that the guy died. I was like, no.
Spoilers! I haven't started this trailer yet.
It's meant to.
Not the bother now.
It's meant to show the fact that
Yeah.
everyone's everyone can be dispensed of.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
and they can. It's literally a game where there isn't realistically a main character, so to speak. You are recruiting an army, so to speak, as it is. I don't know, and you don't.
It's basically
You can play as
Brexit's
anyone
happened,
in the-
hasn't it?
Yeah, Brexit was a big thing in the game.
Yeah.
Mentioned in the conference. Brexit's happened and the world's gone to hell or something. So it's like a nanny state now, and there's cameras everywhere and all this sort of thing, and it's bonkers. But yeah, it looked good. There wasn't much.
Oh, it's going to be on Google Stadia. I'll play it on
Yes,
that.
it'll be on Google Stadia.
You're the
Yeah.
only person, like I've not got any opinion really on this, but you are on Twitter and on here the only person that's like, oh, brilliant. Everyone else just seems miserable about it.
This is part of Football Manager joining the big leagues. It's a launch title on a console for the first time ever. I have to be excited about Google
is that
Stadia.
thing you wanted?
I'm contractually obliged to be.
But
On a
you're
console.
the fella who talked about the Ouya too much, and I saw that had died the other week.
Football Manager wasn't on that. That's why it died.
It's not on a console.
What?
It's not on a console anyway.
Google Stadia is considered a console.
Where show me the console then? What you playing
That's
it
the
on?
thing. Xbox is a console, and I can play it on my PC. The concept of console as a piece of hardware, that's dead now. That
Yeah,
was the
old
thing
man,
that came
pal.
out of this E3. It's all about gaming platforms now.
So it's-
Xbox
yes, it's
is a
not-
games platform. Steam is a platform. Stadia is a platform.
It's not a
PlayStation will be a
console, then.
platform. Consoles don't exist anymore, Pab.
So it's
They're
not
just-
on a console then. It's on a platform, not a console.
Same thing.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on a minute. I'm
Oh,
confused
man.
now. I'm confused now.
There's a thing called the cloud, Pab. It's not like a real cloud, it's just hardware far away.
Oh, right, okay.
So the console's in a
So
warehouse.
allow me to correct myself so old man Pab can understand. It's the first time it's been a launch title for a platform. You happy now?
Yes, that's correct.
In a warehouse, probably in some county in the middle of England, because it won't get flooded and stuff. There will just be a man running around putting discs in. Oh, Kev wants to play Football Manager again. Quick, run! Load the disc.
He can just leave that disc in. He doesn't need to be swapping that in and out. He'll be fine.
Anna wants to play Borderlands 1.
I
Oh,
won't
no,
be
now
doing
she's on
it.
2. Oh, God, now she's on 3.
I won't be
Ah.
You will, because everyone will use it. That's the thing. You might not be excited to use it now. You might not
I
use it
don't-
at launch. In 10 years' time, you won't have the choice. If you want to play video games, you will have to stream them.
No.
You won't have the choice, Anna,
No.
because for the past 20 years, they've been archiving everything you've ever typed in Google. And if you don't use their console, they're going to know what you've been searching for.
We had this conversation without microphones in front of us, which is, I know it's against the rules, really, but just like you don't have any CDs or any DVDs anymore,
Yes,
in
but
10
I
years'
like my
time, you ain't going to have any
games
games.
as
You liked
physical.
CDs, you liked DVDs.
And then they
Yes, but
threatened
games
you.
have a smell.
So
I like
it's
to
the same-
smell them.
They're the
Tell you
same.
what, Anna, we should just start selling that as a spray that people can just snort. I think
you go round-
you
you just
underestimate
go
how
round-
much people value not being humiliated by Google's archives. The
Just
second-
My
wander
archive
around
would
charity
be
shops
like,
sniffing
why-
the old games, you'll be
Why
fine.
is my dog's nose dripping? That's about as exotic.
What's this, Anna? You've been Googling dogs' noses dripping. What would your colleagues think of that? Fine, I'll play your stupid
And
console.
also, Anna, you will change your tune completely when PlayStation announce their cloud thing that is going to be their next generation thing, and you realise
Yeah.
to play on the PlayStation you don't have a choice, you have to do it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Would that be PS6, do you reckon, just in the cloud?
I mean, remember, Sony are the one that are a major TV manufacturer as well. they're in a perfect position. They've been threatening to do this for years. Just include PlayStation in every
Just
TV
an app,
they make.
Yeah, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? It would
If
be so
every
clever.
Sony TV sold has PlayStation 5 included in it. And it's
I
just
see this
an
being
app
the
that
reason.
streams the games.
I see this being the reason why you two end up moving to a city, because where we live will be at least 5 years behind everybody else for getting fast enough internet. Like, I know you've got better internet than me, but it's probably going to be like 4K and all of that goodness. It's going to have to be much quicker, isn't it? Maybe 5G and
Depends how good
6G.
their compression
will
is.
fix it.
Google are convinced their compression is awesome.
Well, that's cool. I haven't read that much about it. I'm sure it'll be fine. But I know I was reading the other day that they were saying if you were to play 60 hours in 4K, you would have maxed out all of the data plans that Americans can get. Yeah. So
I'm glad we don't have those things. 'Cause
Yeah.
I mean, I upload probably 8 to 10 gigs worth of stuff a day, regardless of all the stuff we stream as well. So we're already probably getting through a terabyte of data a month without streaming our games.
I can't help but feel like they're already so. Like, if I think it's BT, if your internet goes down and you've got the right package, they'll send a man with a dongle thing that replaces your router that's supposed to be on 4G, and you can just use that. And 5G's about to come out, and I'm thinking, well, that's so much quicker that perhaps that's where we're going with broadband. They'll stop digging up the streets and sticking wires through, and they'll just have us all on a really awesome 5G network.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Which then Google can just make hay with, can't they, really? And if 6G, 7G and so forth over the years will just get quicker. So it is quite exciting thinking that we could just have tons and tons of stuff all just connecting to the antenna down the road rather than some stupid copper wire that's constantly degrading. Yeah, good times.
Yeah. So let's all play Watch Dogs on Stadia, is the moral to that tale.
In 8K.
Yeah, exactly. We need a new telly, Anna. Get one of these Sony ones with a PlayStation built in.
I saw somebody on Twitter saying earlier they wanted to get an 8K telly, but it costs the same amount as a car. And they were just talking about getting rid of all their childcare costs and letting CBeebies raise their kids so that they could afford it. Because it was like 85 inches tall. And they were like, yeah, life-size CBeebies presenters can do the job.
Yeah.
The world's going mad. It feels like everything's just eating itself with insanity.
You got any more for us then from E3, Pab?
You see George
Breaking
Martin's making
news.
a game.
George Martin is making a game.
Elden
Ring. Yeah.
Doesn't he have a book to write?
Yeah, that's all I didn't want to be snarky, but I was like watching the promo thinking, this is all well and good, George, but have you got a pen in your hand while you're doing this? Where's that book you've been promising? I'm convinced they'll have that done by early next year, because he said if he doesn't have it done by February, the people of New Zealand can arrest him. I don't know whether that's because he's planning on not ever going there, but he's meant to be going there for an event, and he said if he doesn't have the book in his hand when he gets there, they can put him in jail. So he's either going to be in prison in February or he's going to have a book done. But it is frustrating seeing him doing stuff like this. It looked a little bit cheesy. I don't know what you lot thought. I'm sure it'll be good because he's a good writer, but it just looked a little bit cheesy.
I didn't see it. I just knew.
Wait and see. You just wait and see.
Watched any of this stuff?
It's with is it From Software doing it with him?
I can't remember now. I
think it's From Software doing it with him, which are the Dark Souls people.
That's it. Yeah. It had that kind of look to it. The advert was trying to be all Dark Soulsy.
Yeah, so it might be one of them kind of games, but it'll be interesting.
Did anybody feel like Death Stranding would? Is it Stranding or Standing? Would be any
Stranding.
good?
I have no idea what
Based on the trailer, I'm interested. I don't have a clue what's going on, but similar to any Kojima game,
I feel
have
like
no idea what's going on.
If you're relying on sticking a celebrity in all your press releases for it, and that celebrity is Norman Reedus, then it's probably going to be a bit rubbish.
Hang about, we put Chris Akabusi in all our press releases.
Yeah, but that's because we have standards, Kevin. I feel like, I don't know, it feels like one of those classic mistakes companies make, where they're like, "Oh, people like Daryl," and not realising that most people don't really like Daryl. It's kind of just
There's more than just Norman Reedus in it, though.
Yeah, but as well. When your whole marketing seems to go around the fact that he is in it, it seems a little bit like maybe you've not got that much more going for you.
I don't know.
The tagline is more than just Norman Reedus.
Oh, right.
With a picture of his face zoomed in.
Okay.
I don't think I've written anything else about anything else. I wrote Death Stranding turd ? On my notepad, and that's the last line.
It wasn't even shown at E3, but you still managed to think of that.
Was it not shown? I was googling games shown at E3 after the fact, and that was on the list.
It was the day before, I think.
It was shown like the week before.
Well,
yeah.
Shut your whore mouth, then, Pab.
It wasn't at E3. Sony wasn't there.
Yeah, but this is like a Nintendo release window that lasts 6 months. If it happened in the week of E3, then it bloody counts. That's why the Nintendo Direct stuff in the past 50 years counted. I know they were there this year, but in the past have not. They've just announced it with their own weird banana man, haven't they? So, shut your face.
What?
Right, we're done. This has been a long podcast. I need to go to bed.
I'm done. I think... who do you think won? The one, as they were. Who do you think had the best showing?
Xbox, obviously.
I think Nintendo.
Yeah, I was going to say Nintendo made me feel like there was more to play. I feel like
literally lost $1 billion off the value of their company because of theirs. They did not win anything.
I honestly didn't know that, and that really tickles me. They'll come back. That'll come back. It only tickles, and just to kind of downplay some of the ranting I was doing earlier, it only tickles me because I feel like they might go, "Oh damn, we didn't realise people really like that thing. Let's change our mind." They might not. They might go, "No, we're going to push forward," and fine, fair play to them, more power to them. But a little bit of me is just hoping that they do the thing I want them to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to be entitled with it. I'm laughing at the fact that I feel like, because normally, Kev, I'm led to believe by people like yourself that my tastes and views are really alien and foreign and different to everybody else's. So when something that I feel moderate about wipes £1 billion off the value of a company, I kind of start to feel slightly normal. So, you know, it's it's quite nice for once to feel like I'm in a majority, because I spent the past 33 years feeling like a complete and utter outsider.
Well, not to push you back out to the fringes again, I have just Googled it, and all of the gaming media are actually blaming the delay of Animal Crossing on them losing $1 billion rather than the Pokemon thing. To me, it must be a combination of all of this stuff. They messed up like 3 or 4 different ways in one thing.
There's no way any one of them would be enough, but
yeah, it's all of the outlets are reporting that they lost $1 billion in market value the next day, the day after the Nintendo Direct.
Bless them. That is maddening, because they feel like a company that have really stepped forward. Like, if you'd have asked me 3 years ago on this podcast whether I'd think Nintendo were doing everything right, I'd have laughed. I remember the arguments and the debates we'd be having. It feels weird, doesn't it? It's weird to think in 3 years' time we could be asking what the hell's going on with Sony when they're so dominant now. Because I swear Xbox were pretty dominant when we started, and Sony were catching up. And now Sony are considered the biggies, but we're saying Nintendo are going there. I reckon 3 years' time we'll be going, oh, bloody hell, Stadia. Yeah, Sony did not see Google Stadia come in. If only Sony had a massive archive of all the dirty searches we've made on the internet, they wouldn't be falling behind. Because Microsoft have Bing, remember? And Nintendo will just carry on not caring.
I don't think I've ever used Bing in my life.
But there'll be plenty of perverts out there who have.
You'd have used it accidentally plenty of times, just typing into the search bar on Internet Explorer.
Why is my dog's nose so big?
You would have done before I educated you not to.
All your searches for wet dog noses.
Bing was only recently, though, wasn't it?
Bing's been out for like 15 years.
Yeah, Bing is well old. And so it's going to be battle of the search engines in 3 years' time, and Sony are going to be nowhere.
They've got all the tellies, so if we want a way to play them, then they win with the tellies.
You don't know though, do you? Microsoft and Samsung could easily team up. Google could team up with, I don't know, Hitachi or someone.
And in the background, Apple are just biding their time to go and beat everybody. They have a plan.
They'll buy Nintendo. That's why all of their kit was going through that phase of looking like Apple stuff. It's going to happen. I feel it in my bones.
Well, there we go. We are going to wrap things up there because this has been a long podcast. I wasn't anticipating a long podcast.
What, an E3 week?
I know. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't. Like I said, I didn't write any notes. I wrote like 3 words at the top of a page: EA Play, and then saw that they changed the format of it, and they were starting with half an hour of Star Trek. And we turned it off and didn't go back. So
No, we didn't. We turned it back on. For
we saw the
FIFA.
Rio Ferdinand bit. Actually, yeah, we
Yeah.
saw Rio Ferdinand chatting about. I mean,
Street
repeating over and over again how he used to play football in a cage.
Yeah, it was very weird.
That was like half an hour of Rio Ferdinand talking about being locked in a cage when he was a kid, and that's the new FIFA. Yay!
Why do
There
they
we go.
bother putting FIFA there? Every year I ask that question.
Money,
Honey, honey, honey.
certainly. Right, Twitter, MGUK Podcast, me, Lelujo.
Me RB6K.
Me is Miss Leluja.
Me, Pub 1986.
Anna, there was no ears from the rest of us.
Oh! I've just been asked to mention a game called Cook Serve Delicious 2 that my friend, he's not my friend, this guy Tim, has been asking me to mention on the podcast for like 8 weeks, and I keep forgetting. Have any of you played it?
What on earth are
I
you
know
talking
about it.
now?
I know about Cook
He reckons it's the
Delicious
best
1.
game ever made, and it has quite a weirdly high rating. But he
I know about it,
literally
yeah.
just said to me, I trust Cook Serve Delicious got a mention on the podcast, and I'm thinking, I'm going to say yes, but he probably won't listen this far now. He's been
It
listening
was
to our back
released in
catalogue on Spotify.
2012.
The second
that was
one
the,
hasn't.
that was the first one.
It's on Switch. He said, and I don't know how he knows you well enough to say this, but he reckons you'd like it, Kev. I'm not so sure, but it's got 9 out of 10 on Steam and an 84 Metacritic.
What is it?
Yeah, it's highly rated.
If you tell me it's a cooking game, I'm going to be furious.
You play Cooking Mama.
It's called Cook Serve Delicious, Kev, so of course it's probably a cooking game. If you tell me Football Manager is a football management game,
I mean, on Metacritic, it's got a 62%. It ain't that good.
84% for number 2.
I'm looking at Cook Serve Delicious 2, and Wikipedia tells me Metacritic gave it a 62.
Google tells me 82. So
Wikipedia is going to be more right than the website itself, surely.
It looks like one of those just dollop all the food on a plate thing, pressing the buttons in the right order, high scoring type things, but I don't know how to say.
62% on PC, 84% on Switch.
8 weeks telling me to mention it. It's been months every week when I don't mention it. He asked me why I didn't bring it up, and I'm just giving the
Tell him
people
to
what they
buy
want.
us all a copy, and then we'll play it.
Yeah, that is the point.
Oh, it's a strategy management business tycoon game. I'm in.
There you go.
Where's my Switch?
So,
See you next week, boys and
Have a good
girls.
week, folks.
Bye bye.
Thanks for listening.